Now we'll hear from the person representing Harbor Unitarian Universalist Congregation. I'm pleased to introduce Poppy C.S. Hernandez. Poppy's been a member of HUUC for the past 2 years. She's helped organize the Reproductive Rights Rally and serves on the Endowment Committee. She brings many years of experience as a health educator and community organizer to her work at Harbor Unitarian Universalist. Poppy?
Hi. Thank you all for coming out to support Harbor Unitarian Universalist Congregation and now. I think last year was my first year coming to this dinner, and I just felt really grateful to be around a room full of people that feel strongly about issues that affect every single one of us, all of our families, our mothers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins. These are the issues that Now and Harbor work towards and work for every day. I was asked to speak on behalf of on behalf of Harbor, and I was a little bit apprehensive about doing that because I don't want to get anybody confused about me being a church lady or anything, because we don't want to make that confusion. But I am a proud member of Harbor Unitarian Universalist Congregation, and I just want to share with you a little bit about the congregation. I actually found Harbor kind of by accident. I wasn't looking for a church home. I have lived back in Muskegon now for about 13 years, had really no interest in belonging to a church, thought that there wasn't a church that would feel like home to my family of individuals, and so I really wasn't looking. But I went to Harbor because my husband actually had gone to visit for a class he was taking, and he came home and he said, wow, that church is pretty amazing. And the next week, he got up on Sunday morning and was getting dressed and was going back, and he didn't invite us to go with him. And I was kind of like, can we go? What? Like, are we not invited? And he was like, yeah, you can come, but I didn't want you to feel pressure. So we went as a family. And going, I pretty much was looking for a quiet place where I could just sit and be with God. That is why I went that morning. And I thought a church would be a good place to do that, right? But for any of you that have visited Harbor, it's a good place to do that or not. And that is the reason why I continued to go. So first Sunday there, I stayed after for a luncheon thing that they were doing, and the pastor came and sat down next to me. And he said, so I hear you work at Planned Parenthood. And you know, when a pastor or minister or someone says that to you, you're not really sure how you should answer. Because that could be a good thing or a bad thing, right? I mean, it's a charged organization dealing with charged issues. And I said, well, actually, no, I don't work for them anymore, but I love what they do, and I loved every day that I worked for them. And he was like, awesome, because we want to do a reproductive rights rally, and we'd like you to help us put it together. And there it began, being sucked in to the endless amount of social justice work that Harbor Unitarian Universalist Congregation is committed to every day. So from that point forward, I've been very privileged to participate in that reproductive rights rally, which we actually for the last 2 years have done a prayer breakfast, which felt really right for me because issues around reproductive health feel like they need a lot of quietness and a lot of space to talk and be in community, and I don't think we do enough of that. We've done some pretty amazing things as a congregation. As I think it was Michelle said, I serve on the Endowment Committee. We will take grant applications for anyone in the community that is doing the social justice work that we support, which I think is powerful that we're able to do that as a congregation. The other thing that happened on that first Sunday is Rebecca St. Clair invited my son to start attending a coming of age series, which was a class being taught to the youth. And it was kind of funny because the program had already started and she kind of pushed him into it and said, you know, he's got to be in this. And this coming of age class pretty much was looking at different faith systems. So my children had the opportunity right away to start looking at different faith systems. For me, I had never experienced that in a church, And I think it has a ton of value, and it's been powerful for our family. So they did the Coming of Age series. Since then, we are looking at offering Our Whole Lives, which is a comprehensive sexuality program for youth. And we live in Muskegon. For those of you that are not aware of this, we're number 2 in the state for unintended pregnancies and chlamydia rates. Woo, we're overachievers. And you know, I belong to a church that is actively doing work to impact that. That's important to me. We are offering culture camp starting next week for the kids, where they're going to learn about 4 different cultures all around the world. This feels right to me as a woman, as a feminist, as a part of a family. And I am proud to call myself a church lady when I'm talking about Harbor Unitarian Universalist Congregation. So we're still taking registrations for Culture Camp. If you want to send your kid to learn about 4 different world cultures, please contact Gwen Williams in the back. And I have her phone number written down on this card. Ages 6 to 12. Thank you so much for giving me time to talk.
At this time, I am pleased to introduce Marcia Hovey-Wright, who will introduce our keynote speaker. Marcia is the state representative for the 92nd District, which includes Muskegon, North Muskegon, Muskegon Heights, Fruitland, Laketon, and Muskegon Townships. She covers a lot of territory. Marcia is also a licensed social worker in private practice in downtown Muskegon, and she is a longtime community volunteer and activist. I give you Representative Marcia Hovey-Wright.
I'm also a proud member of Harbor Unitarian Universalist Congregation, so I was delighted with the presentation about our fellowship, our church, our congregation. Women mean business. Birgit Close, our speaker today, means business. And as you know, that's our theme for tonight. As I've gotten to know her, Birgit is a woman with chutzpah, with guts, with perseverance, determined honesty, and she's a model that we can all follow. I first heard about her on the GVSU radio program Shelley Irwin does, and later in my orientation for state rep, she was one of the presenters, and so I got to know her a little better. She's an amazing person. Birgit Close is the president and CEO of The Right Place. You've probably heard about The Right Place. It's an economic development organization for our region. She's from Germany. She's been with The Right Place for 24 years. That's a long time to be with one organization. Before that, she was with Prince, just a lot of stuff with economic development. She's on 9 boards currently, 5 in the past, 21 awards. And just to highlight the ones that you're probably most interested in and the most recent. Grand Rapids Business Journal, one of the 50 most influential women in Western Michigan. The Inforum Most Influential Women in Western Michigan, that's a different award. Grand Rapids Area Chamber of Commerce Award. The Michigan Women's Foundation Women of Achievement Courage Award. The Grand Rapids Business Journal, one of the most 50 influential women in Western Michigan. Today's Women of the Year, and she wanted me to point out that way back in 1989, the YWCA Tribute Award for Business. That was her first. So she's been doing this a long time. She's a great model for us. She is truly a woman who means business.